Heel goedemorgen allemaal. Welkom in het Proximus Basecamp voor de persconferentie rond de selectie voor de komende Nations League van onze bondscoach Domenico Tedesco. En ook een debriefing, een évaluatie, een terugblik op het voorbije EK. On va donc partager la conférence de presse ou diviser la conférence de presse en deux parties. Une partie sur un look back de l'Euro passé. Après ce sujet-là, vous pouvez poser vos questions là-dessus. Et après, le coach donnera sa sélection pour le Nations League qui débutera la semaine prochaine. Ik geef nog even mee voor de media dat er nadien wel mogelijkheid is, in tegenstelling tot anders, om nog individuele interviews te doen voor de 4 nationale zenders. Maar ik raad u toch aan om zoveel mogelijk vragen hier te stellen, want die interviews die zullen beperkt zijn tot een vraag van maximum 3 tot 5. De selectie van de belofte zal online gezet worden om 11 uur, binnen een half uur. Dus kan u de selectie van de belofte vinden online. So now it's time to start with the press conference with our coach Domenico Tedesco. As said, we will divide it in 2 parts. The first part will be looking back on the past Euros, and our coach has to make some statements about it. Welcome, coach. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Stefan, for the introduction. Good morning, everybody. Happy to be here, happy to be back. I think it's feeling a long time. First of all, I want to take you with us, during the last weeks, because it was, let's say a journey, not just during the Euros, but also afterwards. We thought a lot about it, we made an evaluation, and I want a little bit to bring you with us during this journey. So let's say that the tournament was still going on, and we already met with the staff to discuss really on detail, to look under every stone. How was the Euro? What was good? What was negative? And I think that the 16th of July, myself, I was here. I presented, let's say, the sport evaluation to our CEO, to Piet. And of course, now I can't go on a very detailed base. I think you know about the timing, but afterwards, of course, I'm here. You can ask every question you want, and I will answer, of course. So let's a little bit go through this tournament. We started with the game against Slovakia. I think. The most important thing in football is the result. So we lost this game, the first game. It's never easy because it was not just the first game of the tournament, but it was in total, altogether, the first game we lost altogether. And if I could decide now, I would have preferred to lose probably a friendly game or a game during the qualification, to have at least the first time the feeling altogether to lose a game. But unfortunately, in football you can't plan it, and we lost. The first game we lost together was the first game of the Euro. Even if we think from many point of views, aggressivity, possession, counter-pressing, it was a good game. I think if you play it 10 times, you win it 9 times, but we lost it, and this is the most important thing. This loss, of course, brought some pressure inside, some table pressure. So the second game, we had to win. We were obliged to win. I think against Romania, many things were good, were okay. If I can tell you, for me, Slovakia was the better game, because Romania, of course, we had many chances also. We can score more, we can score 3-4 goals probably, but we had some situations where also Romania could have scored. So speaking about the structure in possession, when you lose the ball to avoid counterattacks, you remember probably the situation, the 1v1, where Koen Casteels saved the 1-0. We never had against Slovakia, just to make one example. But we won it, of course. The atmosphere was better, because with 3 points, you have at least the final match, the final group match against Ukraine. But this was our start inside the Euro. So 2 good games, if you ask me. If you ask me now, after seeing both games, I think that Slovakia was even a little bit better. And the third game, I think it was a game changer. I think that the third game against Ukraine, was a key match, absolutely a key match for different reasons, because we wanted to win this game. That what I told you before the press conference or during the press conference before the game is exactly the same. We spoke inside the staff, we spoke to the team. We just know the recipe to win a game. I don't know still now how to enter a game, to start a game playing 1-1 or 0-0. We don't know that. The constellation was clear. The constellation of the group was every team had 3 points. So every team could be first, every team could be last. And with this constellation, we decided to be brave, to play our style, to win the game, to try everything to win the game. Apparently, it was not the thing we saw on the pitch. Also, due to the constellation, it's fact that from minute to minute, the legs were more and more heavy, the head was more and more heavy. And I think it was the first time where I have to say we left a little bit our way. We lost a little bit our way, our path that we started 1.5 years ago. And this is a pity. This is a pity because during the qualification and during, I think, many friendly games, we raised the bar, we played fantastic, we scored many goals. And against Ukraine, it was, even if the statistics show that we can win this game, the feeling was not good. The feeling was not good. We didn't create that many chances. We dropped. We are not brave enough, and this is for sure my responsibility. Not the responsibility of the team, but it's mine, because then in the halftime I had to find better words. I had to be more brave. The changes that I did normally is position per position, but I would do it differently probably now, to find better words, better words to continue to be brave. And I think this was the key match, because after this match many things changed, not inside the team, not inside the staff, because this stood fantastically and strong till now in every moment, but the mood, a little bit, the feeling was not the same. And also my press conference afterwards, I have to say, it was not necessary, let's say, to speak about the police of Stuttgart. I would not do that anymore. Of course, it's my philosophy to focus always on what we can influence. I think you know me now since 1.5 years. And this was the first time where it was really not easy. It was not an easy preparation, but I had the feeling I must tell something, I have to protect the team or whatever. It was not necessary. So this is completely also my responsibility. I would not do that anymore, because I think due to that, outside you can feel, you can think, Tedesco is not focusing on what he can influence, is not focusing on the pitch, and this is not the truth. And we never search excuses. It was just a fact. But as I told you, I would not do it anymore. This is my personal evaluation of this situation. But as I told you, this game changed a little bit, a little bit too much. We had 3-4 days to prepare for France, and even if the game against France was more or less equalized, I think if we speak about a game that we can lose, because the opponent was better, had more chances, had more active solutions, it is France. It is France for sure. I think analyzing an opponent that is strong, that has this kind of players inside, you always try to adapt, of course, because the most important thing for me is how we can win the game. But we adapted too much. This is my opinion. We adapted too much. It was not the strong pressing, counter-pressing activity in possession we are used to. We are used to play, and we can play with our players. So we adapted, but we adapted too much. It doesn't mean that in the future we will not analyze the opponents. We have to present to the team where our strength and weakness point. But always, like we did in the past, we always focus, 80% on us to show our strength, so that normally the opponents has to adapt on us. Of course, France is a strong opponent, and this is let's say the kind of game we want to play, but we just adapted too much. In total, I have to say that it's a really pity after this 1.5 years to say it, but it's important to say it because during all the tournament, this team, we had no moment of enjoy. No single moment of enjoy. I think it's important for a team to have at least 1-2 moments where you can enjoy something, celebrate something, have a positive feeling. So the first game you lost, I told you that it changed a little bit, not the mood, but the pressure, because you have to win the second game. We won. Normally you can be happy, but we know we have a final to play after 3 days. So there was not the right moment also to celebrate this victory. Then we qualified against Ukraine, but no moment of joy, of enjoyment. And then we went out against France. So in total, it was a new situation for us because all the, let's say the games before, we had many reasons to be happy and to have good moments. But even if everything that I told you happened, I have to say I was impressed from the team, from the staff. Still, the atmosphere we had inside was a positive one. It's not that anybody was doubting what we are doing or our approach. Yeah, this is the, let's say, the short evaluation for you, with many situations where I can say we can do better. And the most important thing for me now is to take, let's say, the core competence out of it, the questions out of it, and to say what we will do in the future. And I think it's clear what we have to do. And what we will try to do is to look to us, to bring intensity, to bring our strengths on the pitch as much as possible. Yeah, and to play free. Thank you.
Thanks, Domenico. Please, your questions for Domenico Tedesco on this issue, on the evaluation of the Euros. Please raise your hand high enough so that we can hand over the microphone. Bernard Jonas, Sudinfo.
Hello, Coach. Weeks after this tournament and after this game against Ukraine, we all have different opinion about what happened after the game against Ukraine with the fans. Do you understand now the reaction, or do you still don't understand what happened at this moment?
Yeah, you have to see the consolation. Every team had 3 points, so we can go out, we can go in. And I think that you had some, at the beginning, the first 20 minutes, we have to score. We have to score, then it's easier, but we didn't. And I think the more the game was going on, the more it was difficult, and we didn't play well. You know, we can play more free, we can play more searching the 1-1 situations. Instead of going probably the 1-1, we played back. I think it's a little bit normal, but you had some situation during the game that lead then to this situation of the fans, you know. A corner kick that we played back. We played a short corner routine where normally you can also cross and try to score. But I tried to explain why we played like this. So I think, first of all, and this is my opinion, I worked in Schalke, the most important thing are the fans. We do this job, we play, we go to the tournament, we qualified for the Euro, to give good moments, good feelings to the country, to the fans. We do this job, most of all, because of the fans. What I liked is that, of course, the teams stick together. This is a good sign, you know. This is very important, and we stick all together. But of course, it was a big surprise, because we were qualified, and if now you speak to some players, experienced players, they are still very surprised because we qualified, and as I told you, we had no moment of enjoyment. And this could have been won. But if the fans decide to do this, we have to accept, you know, and it's okay. And now I think afterwards against France, you saw the support was there. So for me, everything is fine. But for us, this is important, to be honest, to be open, because otherwise I don't need to do an evaluation. This was a key moment. This was a key moment because even the first 2 games, we lost the first, but it was still our road. But this game, we lost the path. And we had the chance to be first in the group. And of course, then the fans know who we're going to face, in which part of, let's say, the tournament we are getting. And then it's clear that you have some disappointments. So.
Second question. It's easy to ask a few weeks after, but finally, when you start with 2 strikers against France, so Loïs and Romelu, and finally you don't have a third one, but you had one spot in the squad, but you choose to go in Germany with 25 players. Do you have regrets about this decision, or finally no?
No, we had Charles de Ketelaere also with us that can play a striker. We have Dodi Lukebakio that could play a striker. So this was never our thought. I think against France you are right. We played with 2 strikers. We played with 2 wingers. Kevin was on the 6, so we had 5 offensive players on the pitch. So the idea was, of course, to be brave. But you saw how the game went. Huh? They had a lot of possession. We dropped too much. We were not active. This was the game, and even if it was equalized, we can say, okay, we can win it, because if we score 1-0, we can win it. But I don't know if it would be deserved. I'm really honest to you. I spoke also to some French players afterwards. They said, yeah, it was a good game, you can win it. Okay, very friendly, very kind, but I think we must win Slovakia. We agree on that. We must win Romania, because we created a lot. You can say we lived in their half. We lived there during 90 minutes, but against France it was not the case. We just have to be open and to be clear, and yeah.
Okay, thank you. Ludo van der Wallen, Nieuwsblad.
Hello. You are self-critical. You're talking about the game against Ukraine, against France, that you adapted too much. Can you consider it as a lack of experience for you as a young coach on a tournament?
Of course, it was my first tournament, but it was not my first important match or my first important matches. So, no, I don't feel unexperienced. I had some games on a very high level, but of course, afterwards you are always reflecting. This is my natural being, you know. So, normally I don't need an evaluation, because the toughest evaluation for me is the evaluation I do to myself. I'm very critical to myself. And I always search the first, let's say, corner I look around is to myself, where I can do better. But it's normal. I will learn out of this kind of situations. I think that sometimes you have ideas, sometimes you create something, and then on the pitch it's going different. You have to adapt, you have to make changes. But sometimes it's more easy, sometimes it's working, sometimes it's not working. And but this is nothing new for me. This I knew also before, let's say.
Perhaps the game before Ukraine, you were a bit nervous because what happened with the bus and so on. And perhaps it changed also because Ukraine was playing with another team that you thought that they would play with two strikers. Is that why your team started the game so easy, so without, not like against Romania, where you attacked? Okay, you score very fast, that helps, but it was very prudent how you played against, started against Ukraine. Was that because of the changes of Ukraine in their team with two strikers?
Also, I think yes. I don't want to go back now on details with all the situations, but of course, as we arrived, we saw that they're going to play with two strikers. They did it, I think, 1.5 years before this game. They did it once. And what is very important for me, and it will also be in the future, is we have to look to us, first of all. But of course, the first minutes during a game, when you start a game, you never know how the opponent is gonna act, how they're gonna press you. Even if they would play the same system as before, it was a 4-2-3-1, still it doesn't mean that they press the same way. So the first minutes for my team is always very important. You play a pass and you observe who is coming. Who is coming? He's coming, Okay, the next time I adapt my position. This is what I like. We prepare something, but I want this kind of knowledge. You know, you have to feel a little bit the first minutes what they're gonna do, especially if they change the system. And this is what we always do. The first minutes we want to check, but it has nothing to do if we want to press, we press. But if we have the ball, we can't influence if they press or they don't press, you know. So, but it has nothing to do with the story that we can still go. I think that the first 20 minutes, we pressed high, we pressed man-man. Two situations went wrong. So that Sudakov came out. They created one big chance with Dovbik, I think. Then the second situations after 25 minutes happened. And then we had a plan B, we dropped. We stayed okay till the halftime now, 20 minutes, stay compact, but in possession still brave. Huh? And then in the halftime we adapted and we pressed again. But this is the story of the Ukraine game, yeah. But in general, it was, you are right, huh? It was a little bit lash, how you say. Yeah, it's true.
Ja, Ludo.
Yeah. Something not during the Euros, but after the Euros happened a lot at the Federation again. Since you're here, 1 year and a half, you had 3 presidents, you had 3 CEOs, it's coming another one. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, of course. I'm here to speak about the sports side. I'm responsible, I feel responsible, and I am responsible. I want to be responsible about the sports side. About all the other things, I try to focus on what I'm responsible for. I worked in Russia 2 years, and in 2 years I had, I think, 2 sport directors and 3 CEOs also. So I'm a little bit used to it. Of course, stability is important. If you look to all successful teams, you will find one common thing is stability. Stability with probably sport director or management, with coach, with players. You have to create something. It takes a little bit. Nobody is asking for time because time you don't have in football. But all the rest, I will try together with the staff and with the team to focus, because this is the most important thing for me, the feeling between me, between the team, between the staff, all the staff. And it's a really strong one, it's a really good one, and this is what is important.
Thank you. Johan Walkiers, Voetbalkrant.
Coach, you mentioned it a couple of times during your evaluation. One of the biggest problems was scoring. Can you now say Romelu Lukaku was 100% at the Euros?
He was 100% unlucky at the Euros. So Rom, for me, is a big player, is a big man. And if we are honest, after the first game, he can be the top scorer of the Euro. Because the top scorer of the Euro has 3 goals. With a little bit more luck, he's the top scorer after the first game. Huh? If you say, it's too much, okay, then after the second game, he can be the top scorer for sure. And I think, the first 2 games especially, he was really good. He's the reason, also one of the main reasons why we went to the Euros, due to his goals. And his qualities from the human side, from the player side, are not discussable for me. So he was very unlucky. Unfortunately, he deserved more goals, for sure.
Ja, Johan, nog? Peter? Peter van der Meulen, Sportza.
Hello, Coach. In the weeks after the Euro, I was under the impression that within the federation, some people wanted to shift part of the responsibility to Frank Verkouteren, technical director. He would have had a negative influence in the communication, also in the game plan. And now apparently his contract will not be extended after the end of the year. What's your opinion on that? Because of what's been said, I mean.
Yeah, it's absolutely not true. Absolutely not true. My relation to Frankie is brilliant. It doesn't mean that it's always kind words. We fought a lot. We speak a lot. I think he's he's one of the guys that really can judge me. He really can judge me. Why? Because he's there every training session, every video, every time I speak to a player. Frankie is with me. But you can believe me that he was never influencing me. I read it also. I read it that he was pushing me on a defense side against France. Absolutely not true. Absolutely not true. He's always there. Sometimes I tell him the evening before how we're going to play. Sometimes even against France, it was the morning because we had such many things to do. So in the morning of the game, I told him. He was never interfering or pushing me in some way. I take the responsibility. I take it. And Frankie is always clear, you know. He tells me, I would not do that. I would not do that. Or I would do this. Or yes, you are right. So, but never speaking about defense or offense. It is a really open, straight, honest communication. Now, he made an evaluation to me. What we told, of course, stays between him and me, but not just positive. He told me things where I say, you are right, yeah? You are right. And he can judge it. He can judge it.
So I can imagine it's a pity. You're not really happy that he won't be there at the start of the new year.
Yes, of course. For me, he's important. I always told you. He's a person that I really respect because of how he is as a human being, how he is as a, let's say, football legend. Football knowledge is something very important, and I can grow with him. This is my opinion about Frankie, and I will not change it just because he will not be there or something that now I don't know.
Yes, coach, hello. I know it's easy afterwards, but if you could make the list of players again, would some names not be in the list? I think you can't quote some names, but
no. I have to say that I'm really happy about the team that was there. I'm really happy about the players that were there. I will never blame any player because there is nothing to blame. I think I take the responsibility, you know. I take it. If somebody wants to blame somebody, you can blame me, but not the players, you know, because they did everything. We had some players inside the team that didn't play any minutes, but if you saw how they trained, how they behaved to the team as we scored, they celebrated, it was good, it was really good. And also the staff. So I know that when a CEO is gone, everybody's a little bit like afraid, but what I can say also for their, let's say federation or RBFA in general, but especially for my staff, is that we are really, really happy and really satisfied how we performed, how we worked, how was the attitude. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. And were you surprised by the critics afterwards, or do you say in other countries, maybe in Germany or in England, it would have even be worse?
This I don't know. I don't watch to Germany or England or whatever. I watch to Belgium. I feel that I'm at Belgium now. You know, I feel inside the country. I was also very upset after we went out as a coach, but also as a fan of my team. So critique is normal, and if you go out and you are disappointed, it's normal. I have to be there. I need to have the answer of all the questions, and this is what I tried. But for me, it's important that I go into my analysis, and then I always need, I always need the feeling. Okay, we can change something. We can go again to this way. If I would not have this feeling, it would be different.
Thanks, Yves. Guillaume Raats, Sud Info.
Hi, Coach. Hi. What was the key message of the federation during your evaluation in the last days?
First of all, we had clear, open discussions. The debriefing was straight, was open, was clear for me. I think if we can to say one clear message is that, of course, we raised the bar during the qualification due to the results, due to how we play, and that we want to have this kind of play. This is the key message.
Oké. Geen vragen meer voor de bondscoach over het voorbije EK. Dan kunnen we stilaan overgaan tot de bekendmaking van de selectie voor de komende Nations League-wedstrijd. Plus de question pour Domenico Tedesco concernant l'Euro passé? No? Okay. Then we end this first part and we can start now with the selection of the coming up matches in Hungary and in France.
All right, Johan Bakayoko, Timothy Castagne, Koen Casteels, Kevin De Bruyne, Maxime de Kuiper, Charles de Ketelare, Connie de Winter, Zeno de Baast, Jeremy Doku, Julien Duranville, Anne Engels, Wout Vaas, Thomas Kaminski, Dodi Lukebakio, Aurel Mangala, Thomas Meunier, Amadou Onana, Lois Openda, Alexis Salemakers, Mats Sels, Arthur Theat, Yuri Tielemans en Arthur Vermeeren.
Thank you. Questions on the selection for Domenico Tedesco, who will have his first question? Geen vragen? Emiliano Bonfili, RTL.
Yes, you didn't pronounce Lukaku, if I right.
Yes.
Why?
Yes, Rom asked me not to invite him because he had a tough pre-season. So now yesterday he signed for Napoli, and he was not in the shape and not in the mood to come. And this is something I spoke before about Romelu, about his qualities as a player, as a human, and this is good because he's honest, he's fair, and of course then we decided not to call him this time. Yeah.
Okay. And if I'm right, you also didn't pronounce the name of Axel Witsel?
Yes,
okay.
yes. Let me speak a little bit in general about the selection. So what we did is, of course, also after the Euros. Now I go a little bit back after the Euros. As a coach, sometimes you have a bad feeling. You have a bad feeling when you feel that, how can I say, some really big potentials, you didn't use them, how you could have used them. We speak about, I don't know, two examples, Lois Openda or Charles de Ketelare, that had a fantastic end of the season with Atalanta. So it's not easy sometimes, and we now took the decision, of course, the Nations League, you have something to win, and we don't hide behind results or no, we have something to win, we try. But at the same moment, I think we have this 6 months now till we start the qualification to the World Cup, where at least we can try something, we can bring inside fresh players, new faces, where we can test a little bit on a good level how they're going to perform and to give them a little bit the stage. And between this balance, we took some decisions. Of course, I called Axel, I called Yannick Carrasco, I called Leandro Trossard to explain them, look, we know you, we know your qualities, but now probably we don't know other players and we can try other players. So don't think you are out or whatever. It's now, don't be surprised if for 1, 2, 3 camps your name will not be on the list. And everybody understood. I think I was honest, I was clear, as the players deserve also, and everybody knows that it's not about the qualities or whatever, but we want to try to give a little bit more space to these young players. So if you take Charles, I mean, it was difficult for him to play. It was difficult. He was a third striker, if you want. He was the third on a pocket position. Now either he starts, or at least he's the first substitution. So he will find more space. And this is a little bit the reason why I spoke to those guys, to be honest. We had also more ideas, also in behind, but due to injuries of young players, we didn't call, for example, Sabbe, that I really like to see also in our selection, just to give you one more name. So this is a little bit the full situation.
Yeah, Guillaume?
You also know Kevin De Bruyne well, but he's on the list. why him is on the list and not the others like Trossard or Carrasco?
Yeah, Kevin is an exception. Kevin is our captain, and I think that around Kevin we can let grow also these young players, because I mean about Kevin, I have to say that he's a brilliant player. I knew already, but the way he had the leadership, let's say on this Euro, I think you saw him also speaking to the press, taking responsibility. He really impressed us. And I think he's on the list because he's an exception. He's our captain, and we want to see these young players also growing around him, around Romelu, because it was his decision also. Yeah.
Just a word about Julien Duranville, who is for the first time in the squad.
Yeah, I think that Julien is a big talent, big player. Can be a big player. He already is important in Dortmund. I spoke to Nouri Sahin now the last days to ask a little bit how he feels, his opinion about the player. Just positive words. Of course, he's coming from a tough period where he had many injuries, but now he's stable. We should stop thinking about the injuries. We will. I promised we will treat him well, and he will go back healthy, hopefully. We have no doubts about that anymore. This was a little bit the issue in the past, but we have so many good wingers here. It's unbelievable. we can really call 12 wingers of a high quality. It's a pity that you can just play with two and bring two inside, but we have so many good wingers in Belgium, all in Europe. On the same time, we have some problems on other positions, I have to say. But this is nothing new for you.
Encore des questions pour Domenico Tedesco. Hier onderaan Christophe Lieberlo van Het Belang. Dat van Limburg.
Hi, coach. You said you had some ideas with players in the back also. Was Matta Smets one of those ideas or not?
Yes. Yes, he was. I mean, we saw him already in Sint-Truiden now. Torsten Fink brought him immediately to Genk. This is a clear sign. He's playing, he's smart, he's intelligent. Of course, also with Frankie. With Frankie and with Gilles, we discussed it, what is better now for the moment. For the moment, it's better that he's playing it under 21. So I'm sorry if I already anticipate a little bit this name for the under 21, but he will be there, and we decided that it's probably the first step. It's good to be there, but we follow him. He can be one of the... Yeah, we will see. He's very young, and we will observe his development, of course.
The fact that Leandro Trossard is not in the squad now, is it only because of his age, or also with the fact that his Euros weren't that good?
No, it's not just about the age. It's just about the circumstances. We know him, and some players now deserve to have some minutes and not more. This is for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Ludo, heb je nog of niet? Okay, now we first go to the lady of RTL.
Eline Fauconnier, RTBF. What will be your goal for this Nations League?
First of all, to find back our game. This is important. It's important for me. I know that, yeah, in my head I have a clear idea of football. A clear idea of football that is, first of all, vertical thinking, mentality, intensity, in pressing, in counter-pressing. I think that in some moments I'm really a stubborn. You know, we can speak about many things, but if we speak, for instances, about pressing, counter-pressing, this is my idea. You know, I think that counter-pressing after losing the ball is the best solution, and there is nobody that can prove me something better. But on the same way, of course, you have some situations during the game, the intensity is gone, and you need a plan B. So back to the roots a little bit. This is important, to be brave, to see these young players, and then to win games. We don't want to hide. Of course, we have something to win, but these priorities, I think, in these classifications.
Merci. Intussen heeft Ludo zijn vraag teruggevonden.
Did you talk to Axel Witsel, who's 35 now? If he's not playing the 6 games, he will be 36. Is it finished for him?
But it's not old, huh? I'm 38, so it's not so old.
No, but I mean, how did he react? Did he say, okay? Because he was very unlucky during the Euros also.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And this was also the start of our conversation, a little bit speaking about his Euro and his situation. But no, it's not that I told him, look, now you went or you came to the Euro and then, excuse me, and now it's over. But I'd explained to him that now it's time, at least the next 6 months, to find central defenders, to try central defenders, not just we, but also the under 21. I think we have a good potential inside. And he understood immediately. He said, yeah, of course, coach, I understand, and it's the right moment. So it was really easy. But I think it was important that we met each other during the Euros, that we watched each other into the eyes, that we know now the personality of each other. And yeah, Axel is brilliant. He's just fantastic.
Frank de Keizer van het laatste nieuws. Microfoon wordt gebracht, Frank.
Hi, coach. You were talking that we have some problems on other positions. Do you mean defensively? And it's the first camp in a long time without Jan Vertongen. Moreover, do you see Arthur as a central defender now, or still as a left back? And
yeah, these are the positions that I meant. Of course, it's not that it's just the first 2 positions, the central defender on the right side and the central on the left side, but also then behind we need to have a good feeling. This is important. Jan Vertongen is a good name, because I just want to say that it was a big honor for me, for my staff, to work with him, to work with this personality. He will leave, of course, a big hole. The way he played, the way he behaved, the way he was leading also the team in a natural way is just brilliant. So he will leave a big hole inside due to his qualities, due to his personalities. Arthur Theat can play both, and now in Frankfurt he played the first game as a left fullback. It's good because he can play both. Our first idea, of course, is that he can be the left central defender now, giving also some chances to other players in the left fullback position. But I think now to say it's for sure this position, it's too early. We have to see. We can check, we can speak, depending also on the other players. Yeah, but this is a little bit our idea.
Yves Telleman.
Yes, coach. Did Romelu confirm you that he will be still available for the next camps?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, of course. Mm-hmm. Yes, of course. He is now with Antonio Conte. He will be back in shape very soon, and then we will see. But of course, first of all, his feeling is important.
And are you relieved that we won't ask you any questions anymore about Thibaut Courtois?
You can ask me everything. Today, I'm here for you. So
because the situation is clear now. That's maybe better.
Yes, I think during the qualification, or much before the Euros, he was very clear and open to tell us the decision that he will not be available. But already during the Euros, or immediately after, we knew, Frankie and me, for example, we spoke about it also with the federation. We knew that we have to find quicker solution, because we have to be proactive on that topic. And we discussed what is the best way to keep in touch with him. We decided that due to the very good relation Frankie has to him, it makes sense a little bit to make the first step to ask. And then he was really clear. And this is the story.
Oké. Bernard, wacht eens, Peter is dichtstbij voor u, Yves. Peter.
So to be clear, you yourself didn't reach out to Thibaut Courtois in person. It was through Frankie that it happened.
We decided together that it makes sense, the first step through Frankie. And then depending on what will come out, we will check the next steps. So, yeah.
Oké. Bernard Jonas, Sud Info. Christophe, ga je ook nog eens? Nee?
Selmakers is back. How do you see him in the squad as a winger or as a defender? Selmakers.
Alexis, yeah.
Alexis, yeah.
Yeah, Alexis. First of all, we never lost the touch to him. So I spoke before the Euros with him. Good guy, good player. That had a good season in Bologna, I think. Just that he played as a 10 or as a winger coming inside the pockets, and not really what we needed, because I was really clear to him that on that position it's not easy. We have many alternatives, and we will go for others. And I explained him already months ago that we can try as a fullback with him, because this is the position we need. This is the position he can enter inside the team, and he told me that it's possible. He played it in Milan before he went to Bologna, and now he made a really good pre-season with Milan, playing this position. The first game against Torino, he played the left fullback position. Now I think he's on the way to Roma, if I'm not wrong. It's already fixed even. We will see how they see him, but of course if he will play the fullback position, it's easier for us. If he the whole year is playing winger or 10 or 8, then it's more difficult. But he's aware of it. He knows it. We are really transparent. It doesn't mean that he's not interesting for us, because he's a good guy, good player with really good qualities. But for the wingers, we go more for other profiles, let's say.
Oké, merci beaucoup. Plus de questions. Nog eentje hier vooraan voor Ludo van der Wallen van het Nieuwsblad, hier in Frans.
Yeah, Arne Engels, we don't know him very well because he never played in Belgium in the first division. So, what can you tell about him?
I can tell you that before the Euros we had one training session where we need a midfielder, and we asked also the opinion of Gilles. It's important for me not to choose or to pick one player and then to change a little bit the group dynamics there, because Gilles is observing the training sessions. He knows who is close to the Red Devils, who deserves, and whatever. And he told us, have a look on Arne Engels, that we knew already, because he's playing in Germany and regularly also in Augsburg in the starting 11. And he impressed us. He impressed us in a way that we decided that he is one of the guys coming to Beast during the pre-season, let's say, before the Euro. And also there he impressed us. He left a really good impression. I also think that yesterday he's on the way to change the club. At least I heard some rumors. We will see, but we think that this guy has a big potential and deserves to show at least some minutes.
Oké. Geen vragen meer voor de bondscoach over de selectie. Dan gaan we de persconferentie afsluiten. Merci d'être présent ici à cette conférence de presse. On se voit mardi prochain pour la première conférence de presse avec les Diables. Bon après-midi et à la prochaine. Tot later.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.